day, Johnny's dad was just getting out of shower naked. Then Johnny looked down and said, "Dad, what's that hanging between your legs?" The dad replies, "Oh Johnny, that's my nerve." The next day, Johnny goes to school. In the class, he really needed to pee, so he said to the teacher, "Miss, I really need to go to the bathroom." "No, not yet. There's someone gone," says his teacher. Not able to hold the thing, Johnny walks to the garbage can and starts to pee. The teacher gets surprised and says, "Johnny, you have some nerve." Johnny says, "That's nothing. You should see my father's." On their first night together, a newlywed couple gets ready for bed. The new bride comes out of the bathroom all showered and wearing a beautiful robe. The proud husband says, "My dear, we're married now. You can open your robe." The beautiful young woman opens her robe and he's astonished with her beauty. "Ooh, ah," he exclaims. "Oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. Let me take a picture." Puzzled, she asks, "My picture?" He answers, "Yes, my dear, so I can carry your beauty next to my heart forever." She smiles and he takes her picture, and then he heads into the bathroom to shower. He comes out wearing his robe, and the new wife asks, "Why are you wearing a robe? We're married now." The man opens his robe and she exclaims, "Oh, my, let me get a picture." He beams and asks, "Why?" She answers, "So I can get it enlarged." Businessman and his secretary, overcome by passion, go to his house for an early afternoon quickie. "Don't worry," he assures her. "My wife is out of town on a business trip, so there's no risk." As one thing leads to another, the woman reaches into her purse and suddenly gasps. "We have to stop. I forgot to bring my contraceptive." "No problem," he replies. "I'll get my wife's diaphragm." After a few minutes of searching, he returns to the bedroom in a fury. "That witch!" he exclaims. "She took it with her. I always knew she didn't trust me." A scientist goes to a school where he's trying to do an experiment on children to see how good their taste buds are. He goes into a random classroom and explains to the class what he will be doing with them today. The class is excited and agrees to help him. The scientist first blindfolds the children. Then he tells them that he will put a certain flavor of candy in front of them. He then tells them to eat it and tell him what flavor they think it is. The first candy all the children get right. It is cherry. The second as well. It is orange. But the last one is the hardest. None of the children can get it. So the scientist gives them a clue. He says it's what your mom might call your dad. A girl in surprise yells out, I know. Then the scientist says, "Well, what is it?" Then she says the flavor is The children in horror spit it out. The real flavor was honey. Man went into a pharmacy and asked to talk to a male pharmacist. The woman he was talking to said that she was a pharmacist and that she and her sister owned the store. So there were no males employed there. She then asked if there was something she could help the gentleman with. The man said, "This is embarrassing for me, but I have a permanent which causes me a lot of problems and severe embarrassment. I was wondering what you could give me for it." The pharmacist said, "Just a minute, I'll go talk to my sister." When she returned, she said, "The best we can do is 1/3 ownership in the store and $3,000 a month in living expenses." Man went to the police station wishing to speak with the burglar who had broken into his house the night before. "You'll get your chance in court," said the desk sergeant. No, insisted the man. "I want to know how he got into the house without waking my wife. I've been trying to do that for years." The old men were sitting around talking about who had the worst health problems. The 70-year-old said, "Have I got a problem? Every morning I get up at 7:30 and have to take a piss. But I have to stand at the toilet for an hour, cause my pee barely tickles me." "Heck, that's nothing," said the 80-year-old. "Every morning at 8:30 I have to take a shit, but I have to sit on the pot for hours because of my constipation. It's terrible." The 90-year-old said, "You guys think you have problems. Every morning at 7:30 I pee like a racehorse, and at 8:30 I shit like a pig. The trouble with that is I don't wake up until 11. There was a construction worker on the 3rd floor of an unfinished building. He needed a handsaw but was too lazy to go down and get it himself. He tried to call his fellow worker on the ground to get it from him, but this guy could not hear a word he said. So he started to give a sign so the guy on the ground could understand him. First, he pointed at his eyes, meaning eye, then pointed at his knees, meaning need, and moved his hand back and forth, describing the movement of a handsaw. Finally, the guy on the ground started nodding his head like he understood, and then dropped his pants and started to off. The guy on the 3rd floor got pissed off and ran down to the ground and started yelling at this guy. "You idiot! I was trying to tell you I needed a handsaw." The other guy replied, "I know, I was trying to tell you that I was coming." Asked her husband if he'd like some breakfast. Bacon and eggs, perhaps a slice of toast, maybe a nice sliced grapefruit, and a cup of fresh coffee. He declines. "It's this he says. It's really taken the edge off my appetite." At lunchtime, she asks if he would like something. A bowl of homemade soup, maybe? With a cheese sandwich? Or how about a plate of snacks and a glass of milk? Again, he declines. "No thanks, it's this he says. It's really taken the edge off my appetite." At dinner time, she asked if he wants anything to eat, offering to send out for some curry. "Or would you rather I make you a pizza from scratch? Or how about a tasty stir fry? That'll only take a couple of minutes." Once more, he declines. Again, "Thanks, but it's this it's really taken the edge off my appetite." "Well then," she says, "would you mind getting off of me? I'm starving." Guys were on a trip to Saudi Arabia. One day they stumble into a harem tent filled with over 100 beautiful women. They started getting friendly with the women when suddenly the sheikh comes in. "I am the master of all these women. No one else can touch them except me. You three must pay for what you have done today. You will be punished in a way corresponding to your profession." The sheikh turns to the first man and asks him what he does for a living. "I'm a cop," says the first man. "Then we will shoot your off," said the sheikh. He then turned to the second man and asked him what he did for a living. "I'm a fireman," said the second man. "Then we will burn your off," said the sheikh. Finally, he asked the last man, "And you? What do you do for a living?" And the third man answered with a sly grin, "I'm a lollipop salesman."